Hey guys, Graver here. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions. And today we've got a special episode. I got into a little bit of a conversation a little while back in the comment section about tech female characters that could potentially come to the game. And that got me thinking more outside the box of not so much just tech female characters, but what could potentially be some of the top female characters, in my opinion, that could come to the contest. So I came up with a list of 2 per class. I don't think the contest is currently lacking on female characters, but these would probably be my top picks for characters to come into the contest of each class. So let's jump into mutants first. So my first pick for a mutant, and it probably doesn't come off as a mutant to some people because she doesn't really affiliate herself with the X-Men. Most people would classify a lot of mutant characters as champions who are characters that have fought alongside of the X-Men. But my first pick is Squirrel Girl. I know a lot of you guys probably have heard me talk about Squirrel Girl a lot, but she is the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. She's taken down Doctor Doom in her really first ever venture into trying to be a female heroine. She took down Doctor Doom to try and impress Iron Man. It didn't work though. I mean, Iron Man really didn't want anything to do with her. I like Squirrel Girl a lot. I think she's a great character. Like I said, I do believe she is mutant because a lot of the attributes that she does have were inherited to her through birth. She's got the tail. She's got bones that spur out of her hands. So I mean, it's kind of, she's definitely a mutant to me, and she has the ability to communicate with squirrels. So it would just be really cool to me to see the kind of imagery that they could do with the character in the game. So let's move on into the next pick for mutant. And so my next pick is a little bit more obscure too. But here's the thing: a lot of people probably already know this character, and probably not so much by the name that I call her by, which is Shadowcat, but it's Kitty Pryde. So I mean, I think I went through like these characters with the idea of I want to see something new in the game. Right now, we don't currently have any characters in the game who phase shift other than Vision, and he only does it on his special 3 attack. That's the entirety of Kitty Pryde Shadowcat's moves. Like, that's her abilities, is to phase shift through things. And I honestly think that if they actually took the time to try and work around this character to make her for the game, I think it would be pretty cool to have her in here as well. But like I said, it would definitely take a little bit of time for them to tweak and figure out exactly what they want to do with the character. But I think she could be a really awesome character with a really awesome moveset. So now let's move into the science category. So my first pick for the science category could potentially bring another person into the game with them as well, Dagger. So we would have Cloak and Dagger in the game. And I know people would probably argue a little bit over the fact of whether or not this is a science character or not. But originally, these two didn't get their powers until they were given this synthetic kind of heroin new drug. And they survived it, and it brought upon them latent mutant abilities. So technically that would kind of be like how we got Quake in the game, where, you know, she had these dormant powers, mutant powers, but they didn't come about until she was hit with the Terrigen Mist. So to me, these guys could potentially be sciencey characters because of the fact that their powers didn't really come into effect until something spurred them on, which was a synthetic sciencey substance. But I really think that Dagger could be a really cool character into the game, especially with her light daggers. I think there's a lot of stuff that she could do. And then also, if she did come, we would definitely be getting Cloak, which would be absolutely insane and cool to me as well. So my second pick for a science female character to be brought into the game is Spider-Woman. And don't worry, Spider-Woman has absolutely nothing to do with Spider-Man, despite the fact that she was, created through science. She has totally different powers. There's nothing to worry about. We don't have to worry about her shooting webs and stuff. She actually flies, And she does do like the little venom blast stuff like Miles Morales does, but it's a little bit different to it. Superhuman speed, stamina, agility, and reflexes. All around, Spider-Woman is just a really cool character in my opinion, not to mention the fact that she can fly too. Now, earlier on in the comic book, she couldn't fly. She used her little webbing things underneath her arms like we're going to be getting with Spider-Man in the new movie to kind of glide, but now they've transitioned it into the fact that she can fly, but she does have the discharges of Venom Blast that could do some really, really cool bio energy kind of abilities within the whole spectrum of the game. I've always liked Spider-Woman, and I think that she could potentially be a really good character added into the game. Not to mention the fact that she does have an extensive background in fighting, which would really play well to the contest as well. Now, let's move in to the tech category. So my first pick for the tech category is Jocasta, and that is the robot Ultron had originally created to be his wife off of Janet Pym in the comic books. He actually captured her to turn her into Jocasta, to take her personality traits and all the other stuff to turn her into his perfect wife, because, well, in the comic books, Ultron was created by Hank Pym, so why not steal his wife to turn her into a sentient being to be his wife? And I mean, she has basically all of the same powers as Ultron, with the added extra stipulation that she took the Wasp's ability to control insects, so I think that would be really kind of cool to see how that would play out in the game as well. But Jocasta definitely would be one of the top tech female characters that I would love to see brought into the game. So next up for me as a tech character, and I know this is another one that's a little bit kind of weird for the techie category, because this character is predominantly featured in a lot of the X-Men stories, a lot of the Wolverine stories, but I would love to see Lady Deathstrike in the game. Now, to me, Lady Deathstrike is definitely a tech character, because she is definitely infused with a lot of technology. She does have adamantium that's been fused with her bones, and she's been enhanced physically by all of this techie stuff. So she has, to my knowledge and all of the research I've done, she has absolutely no mutant abilities whatsoever. People would probably say, well, she's got a healing factor, but it's technically a cybernetic healing factor. It comes from the cybernetics that have been weaved into her body. And I think that her claws could potentially be a ton cooler than anyone else's in the games, because I mean, she's got 5-12-inch long adamantium claws replacing each finger of each hand. So I mean, that is as cool as crap to me. And she is very, very skilled in martial arts, so there's a ton of capabilities that she could have brought into the game, and I think she would be a totally awesome character to bring in for the tech versions of the females in this game. So now let's move into the skill category. And my first skill champion, she is probably one of the most ultimate skill champions as far as female characters go in the Marvel spectrum to date, just because of the fact that she has been trained in hand-to-hand combat and martial arts. And not only that, but she was trained by her father, the Red Skull, who we don't even have in the game currently. But Sin would definitely make an awesome addition to the skill characters in this game, in my opinion, as far as females go. I would even say as a character, period, she could be one of the top picks, along with the next one as well. So let's jump into the next one here, and that is Viper, aka Madam Hydra. I think that she could be a completely awesome and potentially awesome skill character in the game, just because of the fact, I mean, she's got a lot of the same traits as Sin, but she's been doing it for so much longer because of the fact that she saved a god, and that gave her prolonged life. And I mean, she has the potential to use a lot of the stuff that she's learned over the years with venomous darts, artificial fangs filled with venom. I mean, she is just a complete and total hand-to-hand combat kind of character that can do really well in the game. She could definitely be a complete and total counter on the villain spectrum to someone like Black Widow. So I would absolutely love to see Viper brought into the game. So now let's move into the Mystic class. For me, a lot of the great Mystic characters come from Asgard, and both of these ones do. So, I mean, you've probably got a little bit of an idea of at least one of these characters just from that alone. And my first pick is Enchantress, who is, you know, kind of like the female version of Loki in a way. If they actually went with a lot of the abilities that she has, like protective energy shields, illusion, levitation, conjuring, transmutation, telekinesis, time disruption, mind switching, and mind control. I mean, it's all of the same stuff that Loki should potentially be able to do, but he doesn't have a lot of. So I think that Enchantress could be a definite, really good possibility to be added into the game. And next up, we've got a character that was given a really bad break and sent to be like the goddess of the underworld for Asgard, and that is Hela. I think Hela could be she could be a hella good champion in the Contest of Champions. So, I mean, she is just a complete and total badass in the whole spectrum of Asgardians. So, and she is just, you know, she's the death goddess. I mean, she has the superhuman speed, strength, stamina, agility, durability. She is just a complete and total beast, and not even that, but she does wield powerful magic. So it could be a potentially awesome character depending on what kind of abilities and traits that they actually take from the way that Hela has been perceived over the years in the comic book spectrum. I mean, there's tons of abilities that she could possibly have. And honestly, I think it would just be kind of nice to see her Hand of Glory ability in the game. Now let's jump into the last one, the Cosmics. And I'm going to say, first off, I would absolutely love to see, because a king needs his queen, I would absolutely love to see Medusa brought into this game. Medusa, the wife of Black Bolt, would be absolutely amazing in the game. Not only because of the fact that she is just a cool all-around character, it would be totally different. I mean, like with Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan, we got a totally new kind of feature in the game whenever she came in, was able to, you know, embiggen herself and, you know, grow body parts and use them at her whim. Medusa could potentially be the same way because of the fact that she can use her hair as a weapon. I mean, that is her main weapon, is her hair, and the ability to be able to manipulate it in any way that she sees possible. I think that would be a completely mind-blowing kind of fight style to see what she could actually do with her hair to be able to fight off any kind of foes that she goes up against in the contest. And my final character, my final cosmic character, could potentially bring an entire team with her. And this is why I've picked her, and I've mentioned her before in one of my other videos. But Moonstone would be an absolutely awesome character into the game. Now, I went with Moonstone as a cosmic character because, you know, she does get her powers from a Kree gravity stone. So I think that she could be a really, really awesome character. She can fly. She's kind of like Kitty Pryde in the way that she can become intangible and pass through solid objects. She has laser like energy beams from her hands, which would be absolutely awesome. And she's also got some superhuman strength, stamina, speed, and reflexes. She would kind of be a little bit like Captain Marvel, but you got to think too, if we got Moonstone, we would most likely get the Thunderbolts in the game too, so that would be an entirely new team. And it would also allow us to get in another character that I do enjoy a lot, and that is Screaming Mimi, but obviously she wouldn't be going by Screaming Mimi as she was in the Thunderbolts, but I think it would be absolutely awesome to have the entire team of the Thunderbolts in the game. And not the Thunderbolts that we currently have in the game that have synergy bonuses with each other. These guys would be totally different. These are bad guys that wanted to be good guys, and Moonstone was probably one of the most interesting ones out of that entire group to me. The female characters in general, Moonstone and Screaming Mimi, are completely awesome characters. But alright guys, so those are my picks for female characters that could be brought into the game. You know, I just wanted to do this considering we've got Gwenpool coming into the game soon. And it, like I said, it was a conversation that was brought up in the comment sections. And it really got me thinking about some characters that I wouldn't mind seeing brought into the game. But alright guys, so that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, please consider leaving a sub on it. And as always guys, I'll catch you in the next episode. Later.